Watch this, and we'll talk about it on the back end.
I hold your hand when I say this, but you do not need a man who's going to be realistic about what you can achieve in life. You need a man who's going to be delusional about what you can achieve in life.
Yeah, so my husband's actually the reason that Advice with Aaron even exists. A lot of people don't know this, but when I first started creating content, I was actually working full-time at National Geographic, and I was literally just making TikToks on my lunch break. And one day, Disney, which owns National Geographic, did a bunch of layoffs, and I lost some of my favorite coworkers. And my husband was like, why don't you do it? Now's the time. Like, jump ship. Like, do this thing full-time. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just hit 1 million followers on TikTok, but it wasn't making enough in brand deals to replace my full-time income. And he was like, yeah, but that's what you're doing on your lunch break. Imagine if you had all day, all week to work on this. So I quit my job. I started an Instagram account called Advice with Aaron. I thought it was just a placeholder. Hit 1 million followers, went over to YouTube, got 1 million subscribers, built up a 7-figure business, talking the news, Forbes 30, wrote a book, and now I'm in Switzerland, actually, with LinkedIn. And none of this would have happened without him believing in me more than I believed in myself. Oh, and then I did the same to him. I bullied him into quitting his full-time job. And so he's inside with me on this trip because he runs his own company too. I know it doesn't sound romantic, but the person that you marry is the most important financial and career decision you will make in your life. So marry somebody who believes you more than you believe in yourself. Somebody who is delusional about what you can achieve. This.
Now, I'd like to tell you a similar story about Renee and myself. I was in landscaping for 26 years. I had my own company for the last 6 of those years. When in 2018, Renee came to me and said, hey, retire. So she had been working for a guy that had blown her income up over the years, partially because I had the support in her way back in the day. She was working in a facility in the ag industry, but never given an opportunity to run a facility. And along came this guy who didn't have a facility but wanted to build a competing facility, and wanted her to do it, wanted her to build it and run it. And she said, listen, I think I could run a facility, but I've never built a facility. I don't know the slightest thing about building a facility. And he goes, I have the utmost confidence of you. Don't worry about it. I know you can do it. And she said to me, what do I do? And I went, you go build this facility because I know you can do it. Fuck yeah, you can do it. Who gives a shit if you've never done one? You don't do anything until you do it the first time. And she did. And she built it, and she staffed it, and she equipped it, and she ran it for 10 years. And then eventually she switched jobs and went to a different competitor, and that all fell apart. And during the course of all of this, she earned enough income to retire me from landscaping and encouraged me to go do social media and write my books and start my podcast. Not because she saw, I don't think, any great value in monetization, but it was a way for me to keep my brain occupied and continue to be an extrovert. And when the time came when she lost her job, when the company she was working for folded in May of 2024, she came to me and said, we need to monetize your social media platform. We still need to look for jobs, but we need to monetize your social media platform. And I said, that's never going to generate enough money. It's just never going to do that. And she goes, we need to monetize it. And I'm putting out resumes to landscape companies, and she's figuring out how to monetize my YouTube channel. And now we make all of our money that way. We've made more money than we ever did last year. Hopefully, knock on wood, that continues into this year. And I make the content. She then takes the content and does the thumbnails and the descriptions and the titles and all of the hashtags and all of that, and then gives them back to me, and I schedule them. And together we run this company, which is a content creation company, generating more income for our family than we ever had. Because she looked at me and went, "Yeah, dude, you've already built something. You can monetize what you've built. You just keep doing what you've been doing for fun for 6 years. We'll just monetize it." And I was adamant. It's never going to happen. It's not going to be enough for us to sustain. But she was confident that it would be. And so we've been doing this for 30 years. She was very uncertain about taking that job with no facility. She would have to build it. And I told her, you got this. And she did. Not only did she have it, she crushed it. She killed it. And then she looked at me and went, you got this. And I was like, no, I don't. It's fucking content. It's social media. That's not a real job. Yeah, your spouse, it matters. It really matters. It really does. And I haven't always been supportive of some of the things that she's done. And I don't know if there have been things that I've done that she's like, oh God, I really wish you wouldn't do that. I'm sure there have been. But everything that we've done off of each other has got us to a point where right now we're, I think, in a good spot. We're not jetting off to Paris, but we're in a good spot. So we'll see what the next 30 years brings.